What if one of the most famous villains in history never actually had a choice? The Bible tells us Pharaoh refused to free the Israelites again and again, plague after plague, disaster after disaster. But hidden within the story is a disturbing detail many people overlook. Scripture repeatedly says, God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Think about that. If God hardened his heart, was Pharaoh truly making his own decisions, or was he being guided toward destruction? Welcome to a new series, Is Free Will an Illusion? A series exploring prophecy, destiny, divine intervention, and the unsettling possibility that our lives may already be written. Tonight we begin with one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. Did Pharaoh ever truly have a choice? The story begins in Egypt. The Israelites had become slaves under Pharaoh's rule. According to the Bible, God chose Moses to confront Pharaoh and demand freedom for his people. Let my people go! Simple words. But Pharaoh refused. Then came the plagues. Water turning to blood, frogs, locusts, darkness, death. Each plague intensified the pressure, yet Pharaoh continued resisting. At first this appears to be pride, but then the Bible introduces a disturbing twist. Exodus 9:12 says, "But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart." Not Pharaoh himself, the Lord, meaning the very God demanding obedience was also influencing Pharaoh's resistance. Now the question becomes unavoidable. If Pharaoh's heart was hardened by God, how responsible was Pharaoh? This creates a massive philosophical problem, because punishment normally requires choice. If someone cannot choose differently, can they truly be blamed? Some theologians argue Pharaoh hardened his own heart first. Others believe God simply strengthened Pharaoh's existing pride. But the text repeatedly states God intervened directly. Why? The Bible gives an answer. Exodus 9:16 says, "But I have raised you up for this very purpose, that I might show you my power." Think about what that means. Pharaoh may have existed to fulfill a divine role, a role requiring opposition, a role requiring destruction. Was Pharaoh a man, or a necessary character in a divine script? The idea of destiny controlling human life appears everywhere. In Greek mythology, the fates controlled the thread of every human life. Even Zeus feared destiny. Norse mythology, Odin knew Ragnarok was coming, yet despite all the wisdom, he could not stop it. In Hindu philosophy, karma from the past lives shape present existence. Some believe your future is partially determined before birth. Again and again. Ancient cultures wrestled with the same terrifying possibility. What if freedom is limited? What if human beings are navigating a path already partially written? Now here's where things get even stranger. Modern neuroscience has entered the debate. Some experiments suggest the brain makes decisions milliseconds before conscious awareness. Meaning, your brain may decide before you think you decided. Think about that carefully. Could consciousness merely be observing choice already made? Some scientists argue free will is largely an illusion created by the brain. Others strongly reject this idea. But the debate continues. Religion, philosophy, science, all circling the same question. Are we truly free? Free to do as we please? Or are we just actors in a movie who don't know the script? Maybe Pharaoh's story was never just about Pharaoh. Maybe it reflects humanity itself. How many of our decisions are truly ours? Your birthplace, your genetics, your environment, your upbringing, your trauma, your desires. How much did you actually choose? And if an all-knowing God exists, wouldn't that God already know every choice you'll ever make? If the future can already be seen, is it already determined? Or does knowing the future not necessarily cause it? That is the paradox. And perhaps that's why this debate has lasted thousands of years. The Bible never fully resolves the mystery. Neither does philosophy. Neither does science. And maybe that's the point. Perhaps humanity exists somewhere between fate and freedom. between destiny and choice, between a written script and improvisation. So I'll leave you with this question. If God hardened Pharaoh's heart, did Pharaoh truly have free will? Or was he destined to become the villain of the story? Let me know what you think in the comments. And welcome to the series, Is Free Will an Illusion? Until next time, these are my thoughts. Right or wrong, this is how I feel at this time. Like, share, and subscribe.